Wait a minute, okay, go ahead.
I'm Emmanuel Claitt, and I'm affirming the truthfulness of my verified declaration dated May 4th, 2016 and June 3rd, 2016. I lied when I testified at the trials of William Franklin in November in 1980 and of Major Tillery in May of 1985 for the murder of Joe House and attempted murder of John Pickens on October 22nd, 1976. I wasn't in the pool hall when Joseph Howells was shot and killed and John Pickens shot and injured. I wasn't anywhere near Joseph Howells and John Pickens when they were shot. I lied when I testified that Major Tillery and William Franklin were in the pool hall and shot Howells and Pickens. Everything I testified to at Major Tillery trial and William Franklin's trial about witnessing the argument between Alfred Clark and Joseph Howells, threats made by Major Tillery against John Pickens, and the shooting at the pool hall a few days later was false. A testimony was made up, being questioned by the homicide detective Larry Gerard, Ernest Gilbert, and Lieutenant Bill Shelton, and being prepped by ADA Ross, Christie, and King to testify against Major Tillery and William Franklin. They worked over my testimony to make sure Major Tillery and William Franklin were convicted of murder and attempted murder. I was in prison in 1980 on serious charges, and I had a lot of open cases. At least 3 of them were felonies with a lot of years of prison time. Detectives and prosecutors ADA Lynn Ross and Barbara Christie promised that if I said that Major Tillery and William Franklin were the shooters in the 1976 murder of Joe Howells and attempted murder of John Pickens, I wouldn't get state time in my many pending criminal charges, and I wouldn't be charged in the murder of Samuel Goodwin that I had nothing to do with. I was threatened that I would get maximum prison time if I didn't cooperate to get Tillery and Franklin. The detectives, with the knowledge and the direction of ADA Lynn Ross, Barbara Christie, Roger King, promised me leniency, threatened me, and allowed me private time for sex with girlfriends and homicide interview rooms and hotel rooms. After Franklin's trial, I tried to recant, but Lieutenant Shelton threatened me, and I said I would be framed on another murder. None of my testimony was true. I falsely testified on October 22nd, 1976. I was standing by the door inside the pool hall during the meeting to prevent anyone from entering or leaving, and that both Franklin and Pickens were in the pool hall. I lied when I testified that I saw Major Tillery and William Franklin shoot Pickens and Howells. Before Major Tillery's trial, detectives instructed me to persuade Robert Pickens to become a witness against Major Tillery. I was put in a police van and ride along with Pickens, but back and forth from homicide to the county holding prison cell on State Road to make it clear to Pickens that he really had no choice except to testify against Major Tillery. It was also a lie known to ADA Ross, Christie, King, and Major Tillery and George Rose were buying firebombings in 1979 and 1980. And then testified to that in August of 1985. It was also a total fabrication. Major Tillery pulled a gun on me, threatened to shoot me in Philadelphia early in 1983. The police detectives and prosecutors I met with knew I didn't have any personal knowledge that Major Tillery and William Franklin were involved or part of those shootings. They manufactured the lies I gave against Tillery and Franklin and then coached me before the trials. I was coached by ADA Barbara Christie, and before Major Tillery's trial, she was worried about my first statement that John Pickens had gone through a glass door. She coached me to testify on the second door leading out the pool hall, and that it had been a glass door. ADA Christie coached me how to answer the defense attorney's questions about whether I had plea deals or any agreements on leniency and sentencing for all the charges I faced back in 1980 when I first gave a statement about the shooting with Howells and Pickens, and since then. ADA Christie coached me on this like ADA Lynn Ross did before I testified against William Franklin. Back in 1980 when I testified at Franklin's trial, I lied when I said that the only plea agreement that was made my sentence on 3 cases were run concurrently. In fact, I got 1.5 years. In exchange for false testimony, many of my cases were not prosecuted. I got probation. I was sentenced to just 18 months for firebombing and was protected when I was arrested between the time of Franklin and Tillery's trial. At Major Tillery's trial, I testified that there was no plea deal and was a lie, and that was a lie, and AGA Christie knew that. She told me that the robbery charge and other charges would be non-prized, and they were. At Major Tillery's trial was forced by AGA Christie, Robert Christie, to testify about the black mafia and that they were run by black Muslims in Philadelphia. After Major Tillery's trial, I was told I hadn't done good enough and I struggled to straddle the fence. In '89, I was convicted of felony charges and spent 13 and a half years in prison for something I didn't do and framed by the AGA. In 2014, I was given help by the prosecution in getting all my bond judgments dismissed on cases going back over the year 23 years to testify falsely against Major Tillery, William Franklin, because I was threatened by the police, prosecutors for a murder, prosecution for a crime I didn't commit. I was promised no state time for crimes I did commit if I lied. I wasn't willing to tell the truth about the lies I testified to at these trials, and that my false testimony was manufactured by ATA and police until now. I gave my verified declaration because I want to free my conscience. I need to be able to live with myself. It has taken me all these years to be willing and able to deal with my conscience and put aside my fears of retaliation by the police and prosecution for telling what really happened at those trials. I am now ready and willing to testify in the court for Major Tillery and William Franklin and tell the truth, the whole truth, that I lied against them at the trials coerced by police and prosecutors. That is the end of the statement.
Great. Thank you. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I want, and I get so much energy talking to you and knowing that you the one gonna fight to get them out. They deserve to be out. They didn't do that crime, and I didn't do the crime that I committed. The same thing I did to them, the DA did to me, and got somebody to lie. And I did 13 and a half years in prison, and I lost a lot of time away from my family. Tillery and Franklin done did damn near triple the time that I did, and I just think they need to be free. And if right is right, right gonna prevail, because the DA knows that they lied and got me to lie, and I want to free my conscience. I can't live with myself knowing I did that.